all over the internet. I'm sure you people saw it, that BLORD have trademarked Rattle, and he has even opened an app with Rattle. I even saw this post where he said, I have directed my son to issue cease and desist to VDM to stop using my brand name Rattle. He will have to get approval from me henceforth before using that name Rattle. Linus Williams, CEO, founder Rattle.
So, hi everyone. First things first, I'm not a gossip blogger. So whether or not VDM or BLORD, whoever is the registered title holder of the trademark of the name Rattle, I don't know. And if you want to find out, you can go ahead and do your investigative journalism and let us know. Why am I here? I'm here to, educate the public, especially business owners that are still wondering what is the force about trademark? Is this really important for me? And how does this affect me and my brand, right? A trademark really does help, and it is completely different from registering your name with the Corporate Affairs Commission. I've met a number of people who feel that they don't really need to trademark their names now, and they just want to go ahead with growing their brand, which is good. But we know how this world is. There are bad belly people everywhere, and people may just be looking at you, and you are just really upset with the fact that you are growing, and they just want to bring you down. And out of malice, some even out of ignorance, will go ahead and register and trademark your name, your brand name, behind your back. And what that does is that you will have to start growing a new brand name, especially if that name is already registered within the minds of your audience. So it's a proactive way of protecting your brand identity online. Now, second thing that you need to know is that if you go ahead and register a trademark, it does not cover all industries in the country. What do I mean? A trademark is registered under different classes. So the fashion class, there's a class under fashion. With that, I'm in the legal services. There's a class for legal services. In fact, the class for legal services is different from a class under accounting services. It's different from maybe a class under makeup. In fact, fashion and makeup are two different classes. So, meaning is that if you are registering your brand name, you must also be very careful about the class under which it is registered. If you are thinking that you can just go ahead and register, let's say you're into fashion and you're into makeup, and you have one brand name, you just register it under fashion class. It may be important for you to also register that brand name under the class for makeup so that you can cover both makeup and fashion. If someone else goes ahead to register under makeup while you only registered under fashion, that person has as much legitimate title to use that trademark as well as you. Important point to note, and for all business owners, take note of this. Think of all the classes wherein your trademark would be relevant or your brand name would be relevant, and then register that brand name under all those classes. Now, a trademark is not only limited to brand name. You have been hearing me talk about branding, but it also covers logos, symbols. It covers branding, like I've said before, and even sounds. The major thing is that it was created by you, originated by you, and then you also want to have exclusive rights to that name or to that logo or to that symbol, that identity. Then you can go ahead and trademark it. If you do not trademark your name, somebody else can go ahead, register that identity, and then sue you and stop you from using that identity, irrespective of how long you have already been using it. Even if you have been using it for 5 years, if somebody else comes up today, register that brand name today, the person can stop you from using it. So that's why it's very important for you to go ahead and just solidify that brand name, and protect it by going ahead to trademark it. Also, one other thing that you need to know is that a trademark, gives you legitimate title to use the brand name, obviously, but you can also assign it to somebody else. So even if you are registered and you are registered that name, if you want somebody else, maybe you are setting off your business to somebody else can now become a legitimate holder, or for a period of time somebody else you can assign your trademark to be used by somebody else. And then I think the final point, or before I get to the final point, one other thing is that a trademark is only registered and it's only limited to the jurisdiction in which it was registered. So if you are registering in Nigeria a trademark, you cannot go outside the shores of Nigeria and claim that you have a trademark in the US, for example. If you are registered in Nigeria, you can only use that trademark. in Nigeria, not outside the jurisdiction in which it was registered. And then the final point I'll just make here is that it has a time span. So a trademark is renewable for the first time after 7 years, then after every 14 years, you can renew your trademark. So it's not just once and then that's it. Okay, you keep on renewing so that, and the idea behind that is that if you are no longer in use of that name, after a long time, it lapses and somebody else can take it up and begin to use it. So you always need to be on your toes. So I hope this has helped. Right. If you are yet to register your trademark, you can feel free to jump into our DMs. You can also send us messages at thelegalpilot.ng on any of our social media platforms, and we'll be here to assist you with that process. Right. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.